Hello everyone, and welcome back to Behind the Bulletin. Today, we're diving into a story that has shaken the entire Asian entertainment industry to its core. Hyo-joo has just dropped a marriage bomb at the age of 38, and the identity of her groom has frozen millions in disbelief. How did this sudden announcement unfold? Why was the wedding kept under such extreme secrecy? And who is the superstar groom that has fans spiraling? Stay with us, because we're uncovering every shocking detail right now. The Asian entertainment world woke up to an earthquake, one so powerful it tore through every social platform, every news station, every comment section in a matter of minutes. At precisely 7:18 a.m. KST, a single line appeared on Hyo-joo's official account. No emojis. No explanation. No teasing. Just one clean, devastating sentence. I got married. Fans froze. Reporters dropped their morning coffee. Entire group chats erupted into a wildfire of disbelief. Hyo-joo, one of Korea's most beloved actresses, a woman known for her elegance, her privacy, her almost mystical detachment from relationship rumors, had just shattered the internet without warning. But the shock didn't end there. Within seconds, an equally explosive detail surfaced. She is 38, and her groom is someone no one expected. Even before her agency could release an official statement, speculation spiraled into chaos. Crashed in several regions across Asia. Online forums exploded with theories so wild they bordered on cinematic fan fiction. Some insisted she had eloped in secret years ago. Others whispered of a hidden romance revealed at last. But one question boiled above all the noise. Who is the groom? Only 30 minutes after the original announcement, photographers flocked to her neighborhood. Security tightened faster than a closing vault door. Her agency begged reporters for patience. Patience was the very last thing anyone had. Finally, at 9 a.m., cameras clicked furiously as Hyo-joo stepped into view. She wore a simple ivory blazer, her hair pulled back into a soft knot, her expression calm but shadowed with something heavier beneath. The press leaned forward in unison, breaths locked. "Thank you for coming," she began, her voice steady but unusually tense. "I know this is sudden. It wasn't the original plan to reveal it this way." Her fingers curled slightly. Only hint of the storm she was controlling inside. "But I believe it's time to tell you the truth." The word truth rippled through the room like electricity. Hyo-joo took a breath. "I got married yesterday." Gasps erupted, echoing off the walls like gunshots. "And my husband," her voice trembled for the first time, "is someone many of you know." The reporters leaned forward so sharply they could have toppled from their seats. Cameras glowed like burning suns. But before she could reveal the name, something shifted, an unnerving moment that no one expected. Her manager rushed to her side, whispering urgently into her ear. Hyo-joo's expression blanched. Her eyes flicked toward the back of the room, toward someone only she seemed to notice. Then, with a stiff smile, she bowed sharply. "We'll share more soon," she said. Voice suddenly clipped. "For now, please, respect our privacy." She turned and walked out, leaving chaos in her wake. Immediately, the internet detonated. Why did she stop? Who interrupted her? Did something happen? Was there a threat? Was the groom present? Why did she look frightened at the end? Rumors flared brighter than wildfire. Little did the public know that what had just happened at that press briefing was only the beginning of a story so bizarre, so intense, and so deeply personal that even Hyo-joo herself struggled to breathe under the weight of it. Hours later, just when the frenzy threatened to suffocate the industry, her agency dropped the second bomb. "We will introduce Hyo-joo's husband during tonight's joint appearance." A joint appearance. Live. Unplanned. Unprecedented. Asia lost its mind. Fans camped outside broadcasting stations. Journalists canceled all other assignments. Even celebrities admitted they would be glued to their screens waiting for the reveal. By the time the live broadcast began, over 46 million viewers had tuned in. The lights dimmed. The stage glowed. And then, Hyo-joo walked out. Composed but visibly nervous. A single spotlight followed her every step. "Thank you for waiting," she said softly. "It's time." The tension in the studio thickened into something almost physical. A silhouette appeared at the edge of the stage. Tall, broad-shouldered, familiar. A murmur of disbelief tore through the audience before the figure even fully stepped into the light. Then, he raised his head. World stopped breathing. He was a superstar. He was someone everyone knew. Someone whose name alone could send shockwaves across continents. The audience froze, a collective gasp slicing through the air. Hyo-joo turned to him. Her voice barely a whisper. "Shall we tell them everything?" But her husband didn't answer. Instead, he looked directly into the camera. Eyes cold, intense, and carrying a secret far heavier than marriage. And the broadcast cut to black. The screen went dark. And Asia fell into hysteria. The moment the broadcast abruptly ended, the internet combusted. Millions of viewers slammed the comment sections with frantic questions. Every media outlet scrambled for answers. Crashed under the weight of speculation. The fact that the groom's face had appeared for only 4 seconds, 4 tiny seconds before the screen cut, was enough to ignite a storm unlike anything the industry had ever seen. Some viewers claimed they saw his jawline. Others swore they recognized his silhouette. Many insisted they knew his voice even though he hadn't spoken. In the chaos, a few chilling theories began to emerge. Was the broadcast cut due to a technical glitch? Or did someone intentionally shut it down? Backstage, panic surged like a tidal wave. Staff members ran between rooms. Phones vibrated non-stop. And managers argued in hushed, trembling voices. But in the private green room, isolated from the uproar, sat Hyo-joo and her mysterious husband. The door was locked. Dim. The tension suffocating. Hyo-joo sat on the sofa. Her hands twisted tightly together. Her husband stood near the window, back turned. Body rigid with a mix of anger and something darker, fear. "This wasn't supposed to happen," she whispered. His voice was low. "They cut the broadcast." She flinched. "On purpose?" "Yes." He turned slowly, his shadow stretching across the floor like a warning. His eyes met hers, intense, unreadable. Burdened by something she knew he had carried alone for years. "'Cause someone doesn't want the world to know the truth." Or she could respond. His phone buzzed. One message. Name. No number. Just words. "Make the same mistake twice." Her husband's expression hardened. "It's him." His pulse quickened. "He knows we're here. He's always known where we are." Trembling, she reached for his hand. "Did you think it was safe to reveal our marriage?" "Why now?" He swallowed hard. "Because I thought we were finally free. But we're not." "Oh," he whispered. "We're not." Suddenly, a knock sounded on the door. Soft. Steady. Too familiar. Hyo-joo's breath caught in her throat. "It can't be," she murmured. Husband stepped forward cautiously. "Stay behind me." The knock repeated. 3 taps. Pause. 3 taps. Her blood turned to ice. That pattern. I haven't heard it in years. He tightened his jaw. And I hoped we never would again. For he could touch the doorknob. The lights flickered, once. Then stabilized. His phone buzzed again. Another message. "Open the door." Her husband's shoulders stiffened. Ju grabbed his arm desperately. Don't open it." He stared at the door, fighting every instinct in his body. For years he had avoided this moment. Avoided confronting the ghost who had shadowed every relationship, every project, every moment of hope. The one person capable of unraveling his entire life. Finally, he stepped back, refusing to open the door. Silence. Then, the metal doorknob began to turn on its own. Hyo-joo screamed. Her husband lunged forward, slamming his weight against the door. Someone, on the other side pushed back with terrifying strength. The door shook violently. Hyo-joo stumbled backward. A furious growl seeped through the crack. "You can't hide her from me," her husband shouted back, breaking with rage. "Get away!" Crash echoed. The door frame splintered. Suddenly, everything stopped. The knocking. The pressure. The voice. Silence fell again. Heavy. Deadly. Her husband slid down to the floor. Chest heaving. Hyo-joo crawled to him, wrapping her arms around him. What does he want? Why is he doing this? He closed his eyes. He wants what he thinks I stole from him. Her voice cracked. What did you steal? He opened his eyes, dark, haunted, and filled with a truth that could tear their marriage apart. You, he whispered. I stole you. The room went still. And for the first time, Hyo-joo realized her sudden marriage wasn't the scandal. Her groom's identity wasn't the danger. Disaster was the man who believed the world owed him something, and was willing to destroy everything to reclaim it. Their wedding didn't cause the chaos. It awakened it. This time, the man pounding on their door wasn't going to stop. Not until he got what he came for. The green room felt smaller with every passing second. As if the walls themselves were closing in on Hyo-joo and her mysterious husband. The air was thick, heavy enough to suffocate, laden with fear, sweat, and the echo of that enraged voice pounding against the door only moments before. Her husband's confession still hung between them like a blade suspended in midair. "I stole you." Joo stared at him. Her pulse pounding so violently she thought her ribs might crack. What are you saying?" she whispered. Her voice barely holding itself together. "What do you mean you stole me?" He ran a trembling hand through his hair. Eyes clouded with guilt and a history he had spent years burying. "Because he loved you first," he said. "Long before I ever met you. And he never forgave me for taking what he believed belonged to him." Her skin prickled with cold. "Who is he?" Looked away, unwilling to say the name. The silence said enough. She remembered the pattern of the knocks. The distorted voice. The sudden blackout. Slamming door. The vicious strength on the other side. This wasn't a stranger. Wasn't a stalker. This wasn't a delusional fan. This was someone who had once stood beside her husband. Someone who shared his past. Someone who knew him intimately enough to mimic his every move. Someone dangerous enough to infiltrate a live broadcast studio. A person betrayed. A person obsessed. A person who believed he had been robbed. Suddenly, the lights flickered again. Once. Twice. Darkness swallowed the room whole. Hyo-joo's breath hitched. "Not again, please, not again." Her husband pulled her into his arms. "I've got you. Stay close." Silence was shattered by a soft hum. A sound like static seeping through the walls. Then, a voice. Not from the door. Not from the hallway. From the speakers hidden in the ceiling. "You hid her from me for years." Hyo-joo's entire body froze. "Narrator behind my back." Her husband stood straighter. Sharp with fury. "Show yourself." Chuckled, low and hollow. "Did you really think I wouldn't find out? Did you think a wedding could erase the past?" Hyo-joo's breath shook. "Why are you doing this? What do you want from us?" Softened, terrifyingly gentle. "I only want what's mine." Her husband roared, "She was never yours." The static cut abruptly. Silence. Then, something slammed against the one-way mirror on the wall. The glass shuddered violently. The cracking sound slicing through the room like a scream. Hyo-joo stumbled back, covering her mouth, eyes wide with terror. Her husband positioned himself in front of her, muscles tensed, ready to defend her with his life. Another slam. This time louder. Harder. Mirror began to splinter. Spiderweb cracks spreading across its surface. Hyo-joo's knees trembled. He's going to break through. Her husband grabbed her hand. "We run. Now." They bolted to the side exit. Fumbling through the emergency hallway. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, flickering violently as they sprinted down the narrow corridor. Behind them, the sound of shattering glass exploded like a gunshot. Hyo-joo cried. The footsteps behind them were unmistakable, quick, heavy, and relentless. The kind of footsteps that belonged to someone who had been waiting years for this moment. Her husband yanked her faster. "Sway. Keep going." But as they turned the corner, the corridor lights died with a brutal snap, plunging them into darkness once more. A silhouette stepped out from the shadows ahead of them. Wide-shouldered, breathing slow, controlled, almost calm. As if he already knew they had nowhere left to run. Hyo-joo's heart stopped. Her husband froze, pulling her behind him like a shield. The silhouette tilted his head. Just slightly. Just enough to let the dim emergency light catch the edge of his face. Single glimpse. Hyo-joo understood why her husband never spoke his name. Because she recognized him. A face from long ago. A face that once smiled warmly beside them in old photos. A face she believed had disappeared from the industry after a mysterious accident. A face filled now with betrayal. And something far more dangerous. Possession. "Hyo-joo," the man whispered. Voice dripping with venomous tenderness. "Did you really think you could marry him, and I wouldn't come for you?" Husband stepped forward, fists clenched. "You dare touch her?" The man smiled. Wickedly. As if savoring a long-awaited victory. "It's too late," he murmured. "Much too late." Took one step toward them. Then another. Always seemed to shrink. Hyo-joo could feel her husband's heartbeat racing through his grip. Air grew thin, suffocating, poisoned by fear. Voice broke into a whisper. "Please, stop." His eyes glimmered with madness. "Oh, I'm not here to stop," he said. "I'm here to finish what you two started." And the world erupted. The hallway erupted into chaos the moment the man lunged, shadows colliding. Footsteps pounding. Breathless screams echoing off the concrete walls. Hyo-joo clung to her husband's arm as he shoved her behind him. His body bracing for impact. But before the attacker could reach them, an alarm blasted through the building, drowning everything in a violent, pulsing roar. Red emergency lights flooded the corridor. 30 doors slammed down one by one. Boom, 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 cutting through the hallway like falling guillotines. The attacker spun around, realizing too late that he'd been caught in a trap he didn't expect. He snarled, pounding his fist against the steel barrier separating him from the newlyweds, his voice echoing like a beast cornered. "This isn't over. You can't keep her from me." But the door held. Hyo-joo collapsed into her husband's arms, shaking uncontrollably. Her husband pulled her close, whispering her name over and over, trying to anchor her back to something safe, something real. But even as he held her, even as security stormed the corridor behind them, they both knew the truth. This wasn't victory. This was survival. The man who hunted them wasn't finished. His obsession wasn't broken. His message still rang inside the steel walls. This isn't over. And deep down, they felt it too. The battle, the one buried in their past, the one built on jealousy, betrayal, and years of silent rage, was only beginning. Their marriage wasn't the ending of a love story. It was the beginning of a war, where love, loyalty, and truth would be tested in ways neither of them were prepared for. And somewhere behind those steel doors, in the flickering red glow, the man who wanted to tear them apart was smiling. Thank you so much for staying with us through this intense and emotional story. Your reactions and your support mean everything to us. Enjoyed today's deep dive? Don't forget to like the video, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel, so you never miss the next twist, revelation, or breaking moment. This is Behind the Bulletin, where hidden truths come to light. Every story has a darker side waiting to be uncovered. See you in the next episode.